In the heart of a city that has grown and changed over decades, there stands a building that Tannen seems to have forgotten. It is a police station, or at least it was once. The brickwork is cracked, the paint is peeling, and the windows are boarded up. Yet despite its abandonment, the building refuses to be silent. For years, authorities and locals alike have reported something impossible. The station still receives calls. It began subtly, with dispatchers noticing unusual activity. Emergency calls would come in, seemingly from residents in distress. When officers were dispatched, they would find nothing, no emergencies, no people, nothing at all. And yet, every call traced back to the old, deserted station. It was as though the building itself was reaching out to the world, attempting to communicate, to demand attention, or perhaps to warn. At first, officials assumed technical glitches. Maybe it was a wiring error, an old analog system sparking to life, or prank calls from mischievous teenagers. But the calls were too consistent, too urgent, and too disturbing for simple explanations. They occurred at all hours, late at night when the streets were empty, early in the morning when the city still slept. Sometimes the calls were short, a whispered plea. Other times, they were long, filled with panic, sobs, or fragments of names and addresses from decades past. Dispatchers who answered the lines described voices that seemed to carry emotion, fear, or even desperation. Sometimes, a caller would remain silent, breathing heavily, and then the line would abruptly end. Yet when authorities traced the call, they always came back to the abandoned station, where the phones had been disconnected for years. It was impossible, and yet it kept happening. Curiosity and fear drew people in. Paranormal investigators, journalists, and former officers ventured into the station to try to uncover the source. Inside, the air felt heavy. Temperatures would drop suddenly, cold spots appearing without explanation. Shadows moved in the corners of empty rooms. Faint footsteps echoed through the hallways, though no one was there. At times, the sensation of being watched became almost overwhelming. Those who spent long hours inside reported an inexplicable pressure in the air, a feeling that the building itself was alive in some way, observing them. Locals began sharing stories. Some spoke of officers who had worked in the station decades ago, their lives and careers shaped by conflict, danger, and tragedy. Others recounted incidents involving suspects, victims, and families that had left emotional scars imprinted upon the walls. Some theorized that the building retained these energies, that it remembered the moments of fear, panic, and despair it had witnessed over the years. And, just perhaps, those memories were reaching out now through the phone lines. Technicians examined the station's wiring, signal systems, and old phone networks. Everything had been disconnected years ago. No new service was connected. No hidden lines existed. The calls could not be explained. And yet, when a phone rang inside the abandoned building, it seemed to carry urgency, emotion, and intent. It was as if the station itself had learned to communicate, to mimic the sounds of human distress in order to be heard. Over time, the story spread. People began reporting their own experiences, hearing distant voices while passing the station, catching fleeting glimpses of movement in boarded windows, or noticing cold drafts that seemed to follow them down the street. Fear became intertwined with curiosity. The abandoned station was no longer just a relic of the past. It was a living mystery, a place where history, trauma, and perhaps something more uncanny converge. Some suggested it was simply a manifestation of collective memory, an echo of human activity frozen in the walls of the building. Others believed the station had become a kind of portal, where emotional energy lingered, replaying moments of urgency and panic from decades past. Skeptics continued to argue that pranksters, technical anomalies, or coincidences explained the phenomenon. Yet the calls persisted, consistent in their strangeness, impossible to ignore, and impossible to fully explain. The abandoned police station remains a chilling reminder that some places are never truly empty. Buildings can hold onto history, trauma, and emotion, creating experiences that defy reason. Every call that rings through the silent halls, every unexplained whisper, and every shadow that flickers in the darkness challenges our understanding of space, time, and the echoes of human life. Even today, the phones continue to ring. Dispatchers answer with caution. Officers respond with skepticism, and the public watches in fascination and fear. Each call carries a story, a moment, a fragment of human experience that refuses to fade. And the building, abandoned though it may be, continues to receive them, as if insisting that the past is never truly gone, and that some places refuse to let go. The station stands as a haunting testament to the unknown, a place where history lingers and reality seems to bend. It reminds us that not all mysteries can be explained, that silence can be broken in unexpected ways, and that some structures hold secrets far beyond the reach of logic. So, the next time you hear a call from a place that should be empty, or feel a presence in a space that should be abandoned, remember this. The abandoned police station is still answering, still listening, and still waiting for someone to understand why.